Good evening. This is Shindo. Well, I believe I told you that this healthcare bill, sponsored by Paul Ryan Care, you might call it, would not pass, and they pulled it today before it would have died on the floor of the House. Now what? Well, if I know Donald Trump, and I believe I do, he is going to blame Paul Ryan for this and make himself look like he had tried as hard as he could to get Paul Ryan, convince him to put in this, that, and the other, but Paul Ryan wouldn't listen. This is how he's going to spin it. Right now, for the next couple of days, they're going to be speaking about how this is a defeat for Trump. Well, Trump's only been in office for what, a couple of months? So, if you can call it a defeat for Trump, and I suppose you can, it is much more of a defeat for Ryan. And I am certain this is calculated on Trump's side of things, because he really pushed for this to be voted on today. In the long run, if you're not short-sighted, you're going to see that this is actually going to be a victory for Trump. Because, number one, you now have Paul Ryan, who is in a much weaker position than he was shortly before the presidential election. And you have Trump able to stand back and watch Obamacare, as he puts it today, explode. And it will. Obamacare is going to explode, folks. And in the end, Trump is going to be victorious. He is going to be able to pass what is probably going to be something very close to, yes, conservatives, yes, Trump supporters. It's going to be something very close to universal health care. And this is the way, I believe at this point, that he's really going to sink his claws into us Americans, is through our health care. Because once he grants us universal health care, he can take it away, can he? Do you see how a dictator is formed? Folks, this man, Donald Trump, is very calculating. He is not dumb. I thought he was when I first saw him years ago in the 80s. He seemed pretty dumb. And when he first started his campaign, I thought, this guy is an idiot. And then I realized, nope, he's not stupid. He's not crazy. He's crazy like a fox, folks. This is going to be a victory in the long run for Trump, and he knows it. Trust me, he knows it. And now, who are they going to be looking towards when Obamacare starts to deteriorate, which will happen within the next year? They're going to be looking towards Trump. Then he can grant us all universal health care, and when he grants something, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. This is the precipice, folks, of a dictatorship. And I would lay dollars to donuts, as they put it, that this is exactly how he's really going to get his dictatorial powers. Watch and see in the next few months, before the end of the year, something will be passed that will be virtually universal health care. They just won't be calling it that because it's a conservative who's done it. This is Shindo. You all have a good Friday night. Incidentally, this meme that I'm using here, I found it after making the audio for this video. If you like what I do, folks, no one else is talking about this. None that I know of. If you like what I do, subscribe, comment, click like, share my videos. Most of all, subscribe, because if you want to hear what's really going on, this is one of the few places that you're going to find it. This is Shindo.